Jay Maratatu. Hello and welcome to Celtic Roots Radio, coming to you today from Belfast, Northern Ireland. Celtic, folk, folk rock, Appalachian, bluegrass, Scottish, Irish, Breton, Cajun. If it's Celtic or roots music you like, you'll find it here on Celtic Roots Radio.
Faithless and fallen, dipped in oil and sad to roast it. Don't ever try to find it, I know nice for its direction, cause leaving is a feeling that's not up for an election. Stay up that white road like you were told by your old Lennon, cause you get there on your own, whether by murder or by manner. Fill the hole, screams of one who's been forgotten, as he tramples spits and shovels on the ones crushed at the bottom. He says everyone is welcome, the sick, the young, the old. Fill your head with whoever and then come and fill the hole. Well, it's a simple story about the stupid and the clever, with an ending full of ecstasy or pain that lasts forever. And every Friday evening, if the pilgrims are the party, and the choice that lays before you is Hosanna or McCullough. Fill the hole, screams of one who's been forgotten, as he tramples, spits and shovels on the ones crushed at the bottom. He says everyone is welcome, the sick, the young, the old. Fill your head with whoever and then come and fill the hole. Waiting for you with an everlasting hunger. You're not singing to a lady, well I wouldn't wait much longer. So you only get one chance to fight the charges laid against you, and get your alibi from one who never will forget you. Fill the hole, screams the one who's been forgotten, trample spits and shovels on the ones crushed at the bottom. Cause everyone is welcome, the sick, the young, the old. Fill your head with rubber and then come and fill the hole.
Well, to Gomach, how are you today, hey? As you can tell, we're back once again with another Celtic Roots Radio show. Plenty of great new music and a wee bit of Irish crack, right? The show today is sponsored by Belfast Girls, a brand new book about three girls growing up in post-Troubles Belfast, written by local Irish author Jenne McCullough and about to be published by Night Publishing. For more information on Jerry and Belfast Girls, check out Jerry with a Y, McCullough.com, or go to Jerry's fan page on Facebook for regular updates. Every few months I do this wee check around the iTunes stores for different countries where this show is being downloaded. Would you believe that's 79 countries to date? Thankfully they're not all on iTunes yet. We regularly get your reviews on iTunes USA. This time I was pleasantly surprised to find 2 new 5-star reviews from other countries. Ziggy56 on iTunes Australia says, I find your show just great. I'm a listener from Brisbane, Australia, and enjoy your music on my iPod when walking on the weekends. Thanks, Ziggy. We seem to have quite a regular following down under. Celtic and Roots music really seems to be popular in Aussie and Kiwi lands. And Fingerpicking Good on iTunes Ireland says, this is a great podcast if you like good music. Don't be put off by the title if you think it will be just all diddly-dee stuff. It covers a broad spectrum of music as long as it's good and has a Celtic connection. The presenter has a very listenable voice and adds interesting facts about Ireland and its culture. I like that, FG. Very listenable voice. That'll do me. On the music side, the Celtic bit should be obvious but the roots bit means I can play anything that's vaguely roots, folk, blues, acoustic or whatever. It means I'm free to play anything I like really, though maybe not heavy metal on this show. And the music keeps piling in, far more than I can keep up with by recording these shows. So if you want to catch up with all the very latest new Celtic and Roots music, you're going to have to tune into our Live 365 station, aren't you? Aye. And on that note, Rebecca Kuntz's husband in California emailed us to say, yes, we enjoy it immensely. Your station is one of my wife's Wi-Fi radio presets, Ruby Smiley. You'll find a link to our Live 365 webcast on our website, CelticRootsRadio.com, or check out our new fan page on Facebook, which is also integrated with our Ning network. Keep on emailing us, Facebook messaging, and when you're on your local iTunes store, again, do review the show for us. Started the show off there on a lively note with a band from Western Australia, the Murder Mouse Blues Band, on Fill the Hole. And now we're listening to another lively tune from Blackthorn here in Northern Ireland. This is called The Gravel Walk.
Fire on the clouds are grey and I'm on my way, with the memory of your warmth still on my skin. I don't know what's wrong with me, but the road is talking, telling me that where I'm going ain't as good as where I've been. 10 cities in 2 weeks makes them all blur together. I got 52 best friends to pass the time. My whiskey must be bad, the Jack of Hearts is talking, telling me a love that's pure, don't ever blur the line. Lately I've been wrestling with this feeling that's bubbling up from deep within my core. Nothing I do will make it less revealing that the open road is losing its allure. Sipping on my coffee in an all-night dive, and I'm staring at a waitress with your hair. She says, why don't you come home to me? And I just smile and say, thank you darling, but I'm already there. And the buses and the cars and the nameless smoky bars running endless loops the whole night through. And they're calling out to me like the sounds from this guitar, telling me to take the road that brings me back to you. Oh, lately I've been wrestling with this feeling that's bubbling up from deep within my core. Nothing I do will make it less revealing that the open road is losing its allure. how the billboards and the moon, they both smile at me. And it's strange, I've never seen them there before. Sometimes we try too hard to see what really matters, when the answers are behind our own front doors. Lately I've been wrestling with this feeling that's bubbling up from deep within my core. Nothing I do will make it less revealing that the open road is losing its allure. It'll eat you up and spit you out for sure. I ain't spending time away from you no more.
That was Sonic Bridge from Massachussetts, USA, with the Open Road Lament. Well, we've covered a lot of different topics in this show, but we've carefully skirted around the Troubles. This is an area where people can be very quick to take sides, what we call here a flashpoint area, and emotions can quickly get involved. However, this seems to me a great place to maybe explain things to those who don't live in Ireland, in fact, even to some of those who do. When we were publishing a magazine called Bread during the later stages of the Troubles, I used to drive down to Dublin with a few boxes of magazines, just so they would be posted out with an Irish stamp and not a UK one. That's called being sensitive to other people's point of view. While I was down in Dublin, I'd spend a bit of time with our editorial team there, maybe go to a few events, probably travel further south or west, and generally keep my ears open for news stories and news items. Over and over, people in the south of Ireland would ask me what the Troubles were about. What are you fighting about up there anyway? Can you not live together in peace? Most southerners had never travelled across the border to the north, as they called it. Nowadays it's nothing out of the ordinary to see car registrations from Dublin, Galway and Cork and Belfast and all over Northern Ireland. But back then, 20 years ago, a southern registration was a very rare thing up north. If people on the same island weren't sure what the Troubles were about, then it'd be pretty difficult for anybody further afield to get an accurate picture. This was further complicated by the fact that not only was there disagreement between Protestant and Roman Catholic, or more accurately, between Unionist and Nationalist or Republican, but there were also strong differences between Nationalists and between Unionists. Political parties and paramilitary groups mushroomed, and it would be extremely difficult for anyone from outside Northern Ireland to really understand the different points of view. Add to this the fact that a lot of our politics at that time, and even since, was motivated by fear, and that those fears were often outdated. For instance, way back when Ireland was partitioned, around 1921, nearly 1 million Protestants were strongly opposed and feared to be part of a state dominated by the Roman Catholic Church. That was understandable back then. But 70 years later, in the new Ireland that became the Celtic Tiger of the 90s, the Catholic Church was being sidelined more and more, and now has very little influence. But Protestants and Unionists in the north still believed in the outdated scenario. We're listening to the Irish Experience from Washington State, USA, and a tune called Bunch of Keys.
Cunla taranis geragam. Cunla taranis geragam. Cunla taranis geragam. Beji get chaka de Cunla.
tagliaga na glacha kehu should he is tagliaga na glacha kehu should he is tagliaga na glacha mishima fene de Cunla hina taranis kerigam Cunla hina taranis kerigam Cunla hina taranis kerigam dejiga chaka de Cunla kehu should he is tabulana winoga kehu should he is tabulana winoga kehu should he is tabulana winoga mishima fene de Cunla hina taranis kerigam Cunla hina taranis kerigam Cunla hina taranis kerigam dejiga chaka de Cunla hina taranis kerigam Cunla hina taranis kerigam Cunla hina taranis kerigam dejiga chaka de Cunla Carrington, Kehu should he is tagging Puda Carrington, Kehu should he is tagging Puda Carrington, Mishima Feni de Cunla hina taranis kerigam, Cunla hina taranis kerigam, Cunla hina taranis kerigam, Dejiga Jacka de Cunla. Kehu should he is Tatakas Mavonica, Kehu should he is Tatakas Mavonica, Kehu should he is Tatakas Mavonica, Mamanga Jacka de Cunla hina taranis kerigam, Cunla hina taranis kerigam, Cunla hina taranis kerigam, Dejiga Jacka de Cunla hina taranis kerigam, Cunla hina taranis kerigam, Cunla hina taranis kerigam, Dejiga Jacka de Cunla.
A great song in the Irish language there, Cunla, from California band Craicmore. One of the reasons we started the Christian magazine Bread was this almost total lack of communication between North and South. Aimed at both sides of the religious political divide, we were aware that there were many new evangelical groups and churches in the Republic of Ireland, but almost no one in Northern Ireland knew of their existence. In fact, even in the South, many were not really aware of what was happening maybe 50, 100 miles away. The magazine bridged this communication gap. Eventually, we were able to make some people up north aware that the south of Ireland was quite a different place from what they had imagined. In fact, from 1992 to 97, several thousand people gathered together from all parts of Ireland and from all shades of Christianity, Roman Catholic and Evangelical, to a spring harvest type event at a holiday camp in County Meath. Here, some Ulster Protestants found out for the first time what they'd previously only been reading about in the magazine. This was only a small beginning, you understand. It had little effect on the majority of the population up here. But there were small groups meeting across the divide who eventually had an influence on some paramount leaders, leading step by step to the peace agreement we have largely working today. As one of my own songs puts it, well, you may not be wrong, but I know that I'm right. And if you just give in, there'd be no need to fight. While we're living in darkness, we're claiming there's light all around. I call you a Fenian, you call me a prod. It must sound obscene in the ears of our God, for we'll both end up buried beneath the same sod in the ground. Perception has a lot to do with our troubled situation. All the might of the British Army, and all of the terrorist actions of the Provisional IRA, INLA and other groups, did absolutely nothing to change anyone's perspective. In fact, they only served to reinforce intransigent attitudes. This has been viewed around the world as a conflict between Catholic and Protestant, but probably more Catholics were killed or injured by their fellow Catholics and Protestants by fellow Protestants than otherwise. So what has changed? Well, quite a lot actually, though we've still a long way to go. I doubt if anyone in Northern Ireland could ever have predicted that die-hard unionist Ian Paisley, a and die-hard Republican Martin McGuinness would end up not only working well together in government, but even laughing and joking together. To most people here that was just a miracle. But then, should we be surprised at that, after all the millions of prayers prayed for peace in Northern Ireland? Like I said already, we haven't arrived yet, and I'm sure we'll have plenty more ups and downs politically. But there's definitely a new sense of purpose, hope, and a lot of goodwill to make things work here. Let's hope it continues, eh? This is Vin Downs, a New Jersey artist with a tune called Skies and Openings.
German bombers did take flight for a town on the river on the banks of the Clyde. They wreaked havoc on the holy city. They came to bomb the munitions yard from Kilbarry Road down to the shipyards. The houses fell like a deck of cards, pouring grief on the holy city. The town lies in ruin. The holy city stood on a hill, row upon row like Jerusalem. Still of the night was broken, raining tears on the holy city. Silence around, not many people in the rubble they found. The prowling dogs cast an eerie sound. Oh, but gone was the holy city. town lies in ruin.
That was Peter Daldry, also from California, USA, and Holy City, a song about Glasgow during the German Blitz. We're going to finish now with a song from a young lady with a powerful voice from Illinois, USA. This is Jenne, Lennon, and Bonny, Portmore. Keep in touch now. Slan.
Bonny Portmore, you shine where you stand, and the more I think on you, the more I think long. If I had you know as I had once before, all the lords in old England would not purchase Portmore. Oh, Bonny Portmore, I am sorry to see such woeful destruction of your ornament tree, for it stood on your shore from that is the long day till the long bones from Daldry came to float it away. All the birds in the forest need bitterly weep, saying, where will we shelter? Oh, where will we sleep? For the oak and the ash, they are all cutting down, and the walls of Bonny Portmore are all down to the ground.
Well, that's all we have time for on this show. Remember, you can find out more information about the artists and songs played on the show on our website at CelticRootsRadio.com. And if you're an independent artist and you'd like to hear your music played on this show, again, you'll find details on our website. That's CelticRootsRadio.com. Tune in again next week to Celtic Roots Radio. I'm Raymond McCullough, coming to you from Ireland. Slán agus Banna Dia.